two events into the B League, and we've already seen quite a dominant performance so far from the Gugos, but of course that could change as we begin with Tower Descent, the first team event of the season, and event 3 overall. You can see the Gugos with their 15-point lead over the Balls of Water, very strong so far. We'll see how that changes today as we begin with the Purple Flames. They'll be up first. As per usual, it will be reverse championship order, and today we have Tower Descent, a very long, winding tower that they will have to descend, and it needs no introduction. We saw it in the qualifiers and the friendly round, so everyone here has a bit of experience, and several of these teams were notably very strong in this event in the qualifiers, such as the Wave Breakers, but first we begin with the Purple Flames. We'll see how they do here. They weren't very strong in the qualifiers in this event, but right now they're off to a pretty good start. They've still got everyone moving, and they get very bunched up, but they're still moving. That's the important thing, and that one gets stuck, almost get more stuck, but they will get 3 to the end. I think that'll be a decent run for the Purple Flames. They didn't look very fast, but they managed to get 3 marbles to the end, which is good. It looked like their captain actually was the one that got stuck, which is a bit surprising, but it's just the first marble that gets down that gets timed, so it doesn't have to be the captain necessarily. But you can see right there, oh no, it wasn't, it was, or perhaps it was on the second staircase, but you can see right there, just getting wedged a little bit, but being able to let their teammates by, that's the important part. Managing to get 3 to the end at 11.57 is decent for the Purple Flames. And now we move on to the Azure Diamonds, currently deep in their relegation zone, need to start trying to climb out of it. And right now they're off to a very quick start. It looks like they're going very fast. And now they still have everyone moving. They're looking very fast, though, and keeping pretty spread out. And they almost get one stuck, but they will get it going again. And that looked like a very strong time for the Azure Diamonds, getting everyone to the end. And it looked like they're going pretty fast, too. That could be a contender for a medal, even, depending on how the times shake out. And there was one part where it looked like they would get stuck, but they managed to keep on moving. Their teammate dislodged them. And we'll have to see for the time to come on screen, but you can see right through that pinwheel, the captain, no, the second marble almost got stuck, but a 9.62 is just a little bit shy of the record set by the Snapping Turtles in the qualifiers. So you can see these B League teams mean business. They do not want to get a poor score here. Now the Wave Breakers have experience in this event. They get medaled in it in the qualifiers. We'll see how they do here. Right now they're looking very strong. They get one stuck on the pinwheels, but they still have 3 moving, and they're looking pretty fast. They slow down quite a bit toward the end, but they will still get 3 to the end. I think that'll pretty comfortably beat the Purple Flames just based on speed, but I'm not sure. I don't think it's going to be anywhere close to the Azure Diamonds, whether on speed or just on penalty seconds. And we've seen how in the main league, really every penalty second is the dividing gap between all the times. So speed is important, but it's mostly important to get everyone to the end, and they did not accomplish that. The Wave Breakers could not do it again after they did in the qualifiers, and 11.29 is very solid. That could still definitely take top half, but not great. They're 1 marble coming so close to getting everyone to the end, but it will get stuck in the pinwheels. Now we move on to Rhapsody and Blue, who got a very poor result in the last event, trying to do better here. They're off to a very fast start, it looks like. They almost got one stuck. They do get one stuck. They all come to a stop. It looked like they were looking pretty strong. They got one stuck in the pinwheel, and then 2 of them got wedged in the staircase, and 1 more got stuck just behind them, but it all came undone for Rhapsody and Blue. They will be getting a DNF. We saw a couple of those in the main league. It will be befalling Rhapsody and Blue as well. And disastrous for the team that's already had poor results so far. But now the Wizard Lizards, reigning B-League champions, trying to show that they have what it takes once again. And right now they're off to a pretty quick start. They're looking very fast through the pinwheels, and they're getting a little bunched up. They need to stay careful. But right now it looks like they're going to get everyone to the end. That was a very strong run. That could be a contender for P1. We'll have to see, but you can see they're really masterfully navigating this course and not getting in anyone's way despite getting so bunched up. Usually the most successful teams are the ones that stay spread apart, or just the captain can go free and the rest can stay out of each other's way. But a 10.43 will not be enough to take P1, but still a very respectable performance from the Wizard Lizards. That could definitely be a contender for a medal, depending on how many other teams we see get everyone to the end. As now we move on to the Avocados, another team currently in the bottom half of the standings, not in the relegation zone, but a bad result here could put them into it. Right now they don't want that to happen, and they almost get 2 stuck. They will get 1 stuck on that second staircase, but they still have 3 moving, and I think they will all get to the end. But it looked like a pretty slow time for the Avocados. I don't think it's going to end up with a very good time, especially with 1 penalty second. That could be one of the worst we've seen outside of the DNF from Rhapsody and Blue. But you can see right at the start, their captain, they were getting pretty bunched up, but it didn't seem like it was because their teammates were going fast. It looked more like the captain was just not going very quick. And later in the course, they spread out a little bit more. By then, it was too little too late, and a 12.1. That's only going to be 5th out of 6 for the Avocados. That 1 marble getting stuck higher up on that staircase. We've seen how the staircases can really be the most treacherous obstacles here. The pinwheels can be annoying as well, but we'll see is now the Jelly Jammers won this event in the friendly round for the relegated teams. We'll see how they do here. Right now, they're looking very strong. They're looking very quick, too. They have everyone spread out. This looks like a very well-executed run, and it looks like, will they get everyone to the end? Yes, they will. Just barely. Their one marble almost stalling out. We saw that in the main league as well, where marbles could stall out on that little blue loop, but luckily that won't happen to the Jelly Jammers. I think this will be a very strong run for a team that's shown they have a lot of experience with this event. And one of the first teams that we ever saw get everyone to the end. They will do it once again here with their new captain, evidently putting in the work to improve their team event performance, and that only will be third place, surprisingly. A 10.5 is a very strong time. I guess they weren't that fast was really the problem. Almost a full second slower than the Azure Diamonds. Now we move on to the Gigawatts, another team that was relegated last season, trying to do better this time. And right now they're off to a pretty good start. Almost got one stuck on the staircase, but they're looking very fast through those pinwheels. They could be up for a very strong time if they can get everyone to the end. Right now they're looking pretty good. And oh, it looked like they slowed down a little bit. Their one marble coming in a bit slow, but of course the captain is all that matters, but I'm not sure that was fast enough to contend for a medal. We'll have to see, especially with how many more teams we've seen getting everyone to the end. Speed is now becoming more and more of a factor, but it looked like their lead marble was looking really well until right about there. They slowed down quite a bit, especially through the pinwheels and through that loop, and a 10.74 will only be enough for fourth place, not even on the provisional podium, and we still have half of the runs to go. Not great for the Gigawatts, but still top half provisionally. So we can see the first 8 runners, the Azure Diamonds, stronger than anyone in the main league, already off to a great start for this event, and the Wizard Lizards, Jelly Jammers trying to hold on to the medal spots. We'll see if they can as the Positrons come out now. Well, the team's just barely in the top half, trying to continue to move up and contend for a B-League title. And right now they're off to a very good start. They're looking very fast, and they're spread out pretty well. I don't think they're getting in each other's way. Oh, they almost got one stuck, but they will get everyone to the end. They look very fast as well. This could be a very strong performance for the Positrons, and they definitely needed some extra points to move up in the standings. It looked like their third and fourth marbles came really crawling across the line, but of course crawling across the line is better than not making it at all. And you can see right about there, they were slowing down quite a bit. Their lead marble was doing an excellent job deciding not to. They decided not to send their captain for this event, and their new marble member Anti-Charge will actually it'll pay off. They will get a 9.87, which puts them into second place. Very impressive for the Positrons. As now we move on to the other orange team, the Orange Fizz. We'll see how they do here compared to their fruit rivals. And right now they're off to a pretty decent start. They're not looking that fast. Oh, they're very bunched up, and they will lose one to a pinwheel. That's what we've seen before. If they get too close, they can't all get through the pinwheels, and it didn't look that fast either, especially through those last few layers, which we've seen how the last few layers are really where the times can be made or broken, depending on how fast they go. But I don't think this will shape up that well for the Orange Fizz, at least getting 3 to the end. But so far, all but the Rhapsody and Blue have gotten at least 3 of their marbles to the end. We haven't seen a lot of teams failing to do that in an 11.98, only 8th out of 10 for the Orange Fizz. We've seen quite impressive consistency from all of these B-League teams so far. Perhaps being able to study and all having experience, the scores are only getting better and better. As we move on to the Chili Peppers, we'll see how they do compared to their rivals who went before them. Right now they're off to a pretty fast start. They're usually known as a fast team, and right now they're looking very fast. They all get a little bunched up. Oh, one of them will get stuck on the staircase, but they're still moving. The other 3, and oh, they almost get wedged. It looks like, oh, they will get moving again. It almost was a disaster for the Chili Peppers with 3 marbles getting stuck, but those extra 2 managing to find the energy to keep moving, and that's the important thing. They will get 3 to the end, but it didn't look very fast for the Chili Peppers. They were looking quick at the start, but as they continued to descend, the speed seemed to evaporate, and right there, this was where that one marble got stuck. And the other 2, we'll have to see how they got themselves dislodged. It's usually pretty rare for marbles to get unstuck in this event, and I guess the pressure, the weight that they applied to the pinwheel just managed to get them moving again. But at 12.38, they will only be beating Rhapsody and Blue, who didn't even get a time. And now we move on to the Snow Skaters, dead last overall last season, trying to improve upon that this time, and right now they're off to a very quick start. They've been very strong in the first 2 events so far, and right now they're looking very fast, and they're still moving so far. It looks like it's going to be a very strong run for the Snow Skaters. This could be a contender for a medal, maybe even a gold. We'll have to see, though. It was very quick and very good teamwork. Really everyone moving as fast as they could, which of course it isn't necessary, but you can see the teamwork there. Their members almost getting stuck in the pinwheels, but dislodging each other and managing to get out of each other's way. And a 10.22 will put them 3rd overall provisionally. That's a very strong run for the Snow Skaters, trying to get another medal here. And this is so far very strong, as we only have 4 more runs to go. Now the Pink Pallets. We already have some teams guaranteeing at least a top half, and pretty soon the medals, but for now the Pink Pallets off to a very good start. They've had a strong start this season, and they're having a very quick run through this tower. We'll have to see if they can get to the end. Oh, they get 1 stuck. It looked like they were going to get more stuck. They only got 1, though. but I don't think it's going to shape up quite as well as it could have, especially since it looked like their captain was stopped momentarily before they got to the end, which is going to hurt their time quite a bit. We've seen how that last section can really be make or break. I've mentioned it before, but this was a great demonstration of it. They were looking so strong until that first red pinwheel, where right about there they were slowing to a crawl, and their captain almost stalling out on the loop at the bottom at 12.28. Not great for the Pink Pallets. But now the reigning gold medalists will see what the Terra Titans can do, trying to go back to the main league next season. And right now they're off to a very fast start, it looks like. They're doing pretty well. They're getting through the pinwheels quickly. Oh, but two of them will get stuck in the pinwheels. This might be the first team we've seen get two stuck, at least exclusively two. Rhapsody and Blue got four stuck, but with two marbles getting stuck in the pinwheels, I don't know if the speed is really going to outweigh that. That looked very fast, but I don't think that's going to be enough for the Terra Titans to get anywhere near the top half with multiple penalty seconds. Of course, we'll have to see how the time shakes out. But that was really not a great demonstration of teamwork for the Terra Titans in an 11.94. Still pretty respectable. That would have been a 9.94 time, but only 9th out of 14 for the Terra Titans. Disappointing with what could have been if those two marbles had managed to keep moving. Distressing, to say the least. But now we move on to the Balls of Water. Let's see what they can do. Compared to last season, they were off to a very good start so far this season, and right now they're looking very fast through these first few layers. They're getting everyone down very quickly. They're getting a little bunched up. They need to stay careful, but right now they're looking pretty good. And oh, the captain will get a bump from their teammate to get down as fast as possible. I think that's going to be a very strong run for the Balls of Water. We'll have to see if it's a contender for a medal, but it looked very fast. With everyone getting to the end, there were so many moments where it looked like something could have gone wrong, but they managed to get everyone to the end, really averting the risks as they managed to wind down this tower. And a 10.23 will be just shy of the provisional podium. I believe that's only 100th of a second behind the Snow Skaters mark, but disappointing for the Balls of Water, but it will still be a very strong performance as we move on to our final run. The Gugos trying to get their third medal in a row. We'll have to see how off to a very good start are the Gugos, and right now they're looking very fast. Oh, their one teammate almost gets stuck, but they managed to get dislodged. Oh, but another one will get stuck, and I don't think the Gugos will be contending for another medal. That looked very fast, but with one marble getting stuck, I don't think that'll be enough. We've yet to see anyone with a penalty second really break into that top group, and it looked pretty fast, but I'm just not sure if that's going to be enough, especially with how many times the teammates need to help each other. That one moment right there was very strong, but it just wasn't enough, and 11.69 will only be 10th place for the Gugos, and not going to be nearly as strong as their first two events. Perhaps the team events not as good for them, but the Azure Diamonds will be holding on for the gold medal here. The Positrons taking the silver, and the Snow Skaters getting bronze. Very impressive podium for all these teams. All three of them were struggling quite a bit last season, and all of them making amends here with a very strong time for the Azure Diamonds, a 9.62, and also a very strong time for the Positrons. The Balls of Water have to be kicking themselves, only missing the podium by a single 100th of a second. And then the Wizard Lizards and Jelly Jammers and Gigawatts also getting everyone to the end. Very strong times across the board for the B League. We look at the standings, the Gugos lead still there, but it has come down quite a bit. Meanwhile, other teams have moved down into the relegation zone, such as the Avocados, but still a lot of time for that to change as we move on to the next B League event, which will be the obstacle course. Of course, before that, we head back to the main league for the slalom. So stay tuned, and thank you for watching.